everything you learned playing the old Guitar Hero because Guitar Hero Live is a complete reinvention. For starters, there's this, a brand new controller. The way you play has fundamentally changed thanks to a redesign of these buttons. There are now 6 buttons arranged as 3 black on top of 3 white.
Hex, I think at first glance, this looks like a much easier game because all the buttons are up here and you don't need to do that pinky stretch. But on harder difficulties, I would say this is actually a much more challenging game.
Yeah, and it's because you need to play more chord shapes. Tricky combos of buttons on both layers that just hurt your brain.
Let's do it.
And Hex, it feels more like playing a real guitar than the older games did. Plus, I think this looks great too.
Yeah, it was a huge risk to throw out the old 5-coloured button design, but I do think the game is better for it. Now, the other big obvious change is that cartoony band members are a thing of the past. This first-person footage of being on stage with real musicians, looking out at huge crowds, it looks stunning, doesn't it? And it's so well produced.
Yeah, I was skeptical at first, but I think it really works. When you're playing well, everyone's rocking out and having a good time, but start making a few mistakes, and not only will your bandmates start glaring at you, but the audience will turn on you too. Get off!
Sorry, guys! Yeah, it's a bit of a technical feat to make it this convincing. Plus, I love how seamlessly the band just goes into the next song, maintaining that illusion that you're playing a live concert.
There's a number of different bands you play with through your career, from rockers to hipsters to all-girl pop groups, but they're almost all super cheesy in their performances.
Let's get in there. Hey man, come on. Let's go.
Yeah, it is all very exaggerated, but I almost feel it needs to be because this is all about rock star fantasy. I mean, I just went with it. I confess I put my foot up on the coffee table at least once, maybe twice.
Well, let's talk about the actual songs they've included with this career. There's about 42 songs overall, but I found it to be a bit of a disappointing collection. It's mainly very mainstream pop rock, a bit of folk, a bit of emo. I just don't think they're songs that show off any amazing guitar playing. I can't remember a single Whitley solo.
Oh, there were 1 or 2 solos. I know what you mean, but I think it's a pretty good mix of genres. And most importantly, all these parts were fun to play. I mean, does Guitar Hero have to be all about big metal riffs and screeching guitar solos to be enjoyable?
Yes, it does.
Well, personally, I think the appeal of guitar playing goes beyond heavy rock, but I guess personal taste comes into a game like this. Anyway, there are plenty more songs, including hard-rocking guitar solos in the game's other mode of play, called Guitar Hero TV. This is an on-demand streaming service of hundreds of songs presented a bit like an MTV channel.
Yes, and the music here is so much better. There are always 2 channels of songs being broadcast that you can jump in and play along with at any time entirely for free. While you're playing, you can see how you're faring against other players doing the same track, and that adds a subtle competitive element to it. I love having the original music videos, Hex.
Yeah, it's so hard to put this down, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think it's got it all over the career mode, as goofy fun as that might be. Part of the appeal is that you're leveling up and gaining unlocks and rewards after every song. And when the video ends, you think, okay, I'll give it a rest now. And then that next song starts playing and you think, well, I'll give it a shot. Oh, it's Rush!
And I like the lottery of not knowing what song's coming up next. I mean, it's like watching Rage, but with the fun of getting to play all the guitar parts.
You can also customize a few things about the experience, like using different note highways, or hero powers that do things like clear up all the upcoming notes, or lessen the difficulty for a section of the song. But Hex, there's one part of GHTV that a lot of players won't like. You can't permanently purchase any songs.
No. You need to spend play tokens if you want to have a go at a specific song from the catalogue.
Okay, Use your coins to buy the highlighted pack.
These can be purchased with real money, or you can slowly gather them for free by leveling up your profile, which you do by playing the free channels.
I know it's quite easy to earn the free plays. I think I've got about 20 tokens just sitting there untouched. But I do think this will bother expert players who just want to practice one song over and over again and master it on the highest difficulty. They're going to burn through those plays pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a different system that we're used to, but I actually think it's a pretty fair one. It's not like it's a chore to go and play some other songs for a while to earn more plays, and I think as long as they keep refreshing GHTV with new content, it'll be fine.
But Hex, what about a party situation when friends come over? I don't want to waste my plays on their stupid song choices.
What are you trying to say?
You have stupid song choices. My only option in that situation is to pay for a 24-hour party pass to make any personal selection free to play, and that's about $7.
You make a good point, and I do think the multiplayer is a bit weak. There is local and online play for 2 guitars, as well as the ability to sing along using a USB mic, but both guitars play the same part. There's no separate lead and rhythm parts or bass guitar. I think that's disappointing.
Yeah, it does feel like a bit of an afterthought. What are you going to give it, Hex?
Well, overall, I was seriously impressed with this. I think for anyone who was a little bit sick of the old Guitar Hero formula, this is a really modern reinvention. I'm giving it 4 stars.
Yeah, I wasn't quite on board with the Korean music, and I'm still uneasy about that freemium model, but it did need a reinvention. And you're right, they've done a really great job with it. It's good fun. I'm giving it 3.5 stars.